How's it going, guys? Hopefully your night is going well. It is around 7:45 my time here in Minnesota, just hanging out, and I'm doing some water changes, so I figured I would go live, see how everyone's doing. I figured a topic we could maybe talk about is what you think of an Oscar fish in a 75-gallon tank, because that was a hot topic right now in the Oscar fish enthusiast group, and a bunch of people were arguing. I don't really know where I sit on this because Oscar fish, I kept two Oscar fish in a 75 for quite some time that someone just kind of dropped off and I didn't have room for them. And you commonly see it in a fish room, or a fish store, I should say. So it's, I was doing crazy water changes and I like to think they had a good life, but I don't know. I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me pull up the chat here. I'm doing some water changes. I just completely destroyed this 125 gallon with a deep cleansing. Fish Dad, what's up? Palmer, can I get a shout out? Damarian Smith, how's it going, Ty? Yeah, we gotta get that live stream going, Ty. I'm super busy, but we gotta get it going. We gotta pick a topic and just do it, man. Like, I have me and Sergeant Tanks are in the mix of planning some live streams right now, so those are to come. I'm a huge fan of his. New to fish keeping, any advice? Yeah, go buy the biggest tank you can. King and Queen Cichlids, I want to give a shout out to their channel because they are growing and they do amazing content and they got a cool group, so. But yeah, I completely destroyed this tank. I moved around all the decor at least once a month because you will be completely surprised at how much detritus adds up and accumulates in the weirdest spots. And I know some of you guys are against having a lot of decorations because of this fact, because it adds up so much detritus. I'm trying to think of good ideas for a live stream. Yeah, let me do a little research. I like to really keep my videos have a topic because sometimes live streams just get way off topic. Kind of like this one, it's just kind of a hanging out. But I'd like to talk about what you guys think of an Oscar fish in a 75-gallon tank. Just had a pop-up happen. Do you still have Plecos? I do have Plecos. I tried to get rid of all of my common Plecos because I did a trial on I used to have a Pleco in every single tank in the fish room. And I did a trial test and I yanked all the Plecos and I cut my water changes, the schedule, in half. It was ridiculous. Like, their bio load is crazy. Right now I have 3 Plecos in this tank. You maybe just saw them swim by. Just because all my fish tanks are kind of in a scramble right now because I'm moving them all out to the shop. 1 Oscar in a 75 is okay, but only 1. Yeah, I would have to agree. It's, how about with tank mates, Tyler? Like, what if you add tank mates? Like maybe like a Severum or what is like the most ideal tank mate for an Oscar? That I'm trying to think. I would say, one of the most common is silver dollars, and I disagree with keeping silver dollars with Oscars. Here, turn off the heater so it's not annoying. What's up, Palmer? Ethan Fallen, how's it going? Elite Vids, hey man, have to go, have good live. Yeah, I'm not gonna be super long here. I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm sweating. It's 82 degrees in here. I don't know what. It's getting really cold here in Minnesota, so like the fish room is, or I should say my new office, but the fish room here is trying to whenever seasons change, the fish room goes through a lot of changes too. So, are we exclusively talking about Oscars? I think we should. Ethan, what do you think of an Oscar in a 75-gallon tank, like a full-grown Oscar? And I added a variable with some tank mates. And like I said, I don't really agree keeping silver dollars with Oscars, but I would say it's the most common we see in the group. And The reason I don't agree is because they just get so, they're an insecure fish, and I commonly had them picked off by Oscars or just essentially bullied so much to where they get stressed out and die. Where I live, practically don't need a heater. Yeah, well, I hate you, because if I lived where you lived, I could save so much money. Last winter, I think every month heating the fish room, my power bill was over $300 a month. My main thing is a fish has enough room to swim around, and if they don't get beat up by the Oscar. You've seen my tanks. I have large tanks with a few cichlids. Yeah, you do. What do you think of an Oscar in a 75? I know you and I really believe in having monster tanks and giving the fish the best scenario to live, but I completely disagree with it. But I've kind of turned into a Nazi with tank size. Like, if you can't give a big cichlid a big home to live in, you shouldn't own it. 3 Oscars, 4 Jack Dempseys, 1 Jaguar cichlid, Pleco 3 filters. Send a pic on Facebook. Yeah, if you want to add my my personal Facebook account, it's Chris Weber and parentheses Fish Geek. Preach Palmer agreed. Yeah, brother. We should do a live stream soon. I would like to I would like to bring my subscriber base over to your subscriber base. So my smallest tank is a 150. By the way, you guys can't let me forget about this water change. Here, one second, I just shut the door. The dog's coming in. Gotta check the water temp too. Ooh, that's a little warm. That's a little warm, guys. That's like 84 degrees. I'm gonna have to turn that down a little bit. Would love the combo, buddy. Just let me know. Yeah, I'm going hard at this live streaming deal. My setup isn't completely perfect. I don't have the fancy software like Joel does yet, but I'm working on it. It all costs money. The fancy cameras, the softwares. I have a desktop. I think it's too old. I don't know. I might have to bite the bullet and just go buy a new one. You can keep a red-tail catfish in an Intex pool. Gonna catch the rest on the replay. My wife wants to hang out. Yeah, brother. I just put Avery down to sleep, so I know the struggle. I freak out sometimes. I'm really bad with balancing family with my obsessive hobby because I'm an obsessive person, and I'm thankful for this hobby that has taken over my life, but it gets in the way because if I don't, if a day goes by that I cannot do my own stuff, I completely just freak out, become obsessed. It's not healthy. I will be the first to admit it. But with time, my wife is amazing, and she has learned that, hey, you're getting overly angry, you need to go do your thing, and I'll just take it from here. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm running that line of like, I still want to be a tremendous father, but there's a fine line, and I ride it. I will admit that. I'm easily addicted. It was either fish or drugs. Yeah, drugs runs in my family. And I'm so thankful that I found this hobby. I think a lot of us share that same feeling. I know Joey just did a video about him going to prison, and I know a bunch of guys that are in fish keeping because ooh, nice $10 super chat. Hit the like button. Hope to see lots of. I'm running American Cichlid Association booth. Hey, huge shout out to King and Queen Cichlids. If you guys haven't subscribed to their channel, you need to. I'm going to throw a link in the description box because Liz and him are amazing. They're fun to watch. Their channel is gonna grow fast. I promise you that, because his editing skills are past mine. He's way better than a lot of us. And I think the channel isn't growing so much yet because it's new, and I think YouTube has that in their algorithm, where if you're new, they want to give you that 2-year plateau to where they make sure you stick around, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm blabbing. Their channel is amazing. Guys, I'm gonna turn this water down a little bit because I'm worried about it being too warm. I think it's like 85-ish. Yeah, I gotta turn that down a little. Just give me 1 second. Alright, totally apologize. That is embarrassing. But I cannot have my fish having too cold of water. And I know some of you guys run cold water in your water changes, but I'm just not ready to completely do that. Yeah, that's better. I think what's screwing up the system is my wife is actually taking a bath. So it like, I don't know, that is just completely screwing it up. Drugs were cheaper for me. Yeah, I will admit, as a younger man, that sounded really stupid. I was getting into some bad things on my way to bad directions, hanging out with wrong people, and fish keeping. It sounds super corny, but I swear it gives me a reason to live. I will send you a fix on Facebook. Heck yeah! How the heck did you do that with your username? That's crazy looking, dirt cichlid. Heck yeah, I can't believe King and Queen aren't already 100,000 subs. I was sure they were on their way up. Videos are so good. Yeah, their videos are really comedic and fun to watch. I really like them. And I think they're afraid to share some of their stuff because it's an easy, like, people always tell me, hey, you need to ask for Patreon more often because what you're doing is really cool. And it's really hard to ask people to like give you money or ask for subscribers. I never did that in my videos, and it's a problem because people want to see this content and we need to share. That's where you guys need to help and just share their channel. For the people watching, please hit the like button. I love it. I gotta check this water. Alright. Perfect. Alright guys, I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm overheating in here. So it's like, hopefully I'm not turning too red in the face. Hit the like button. I think I'm the youngest here. How old are you, Eric? Big baller, that's how. That's hilarious. I will send you a fix on Facebook. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing some live streams with Sergeant Tanks, and I know some of these live streams kind of get off topic, but I was telling him that I really wanted to make sure that with each individual live stream that we kind of keep on topic and have it real fast paced, because I understand that like I have really bad ADD myself, and I believe that we need to keep it on topic and also make a good video out of the live stream for future people to see the video. And like I want it to be fun to watch essentially, and sometimes live streams get off topic like this one. Do you think I can put a flowerhorn in a 55-gallon tank? Dude, people do it all the time. A lot of the flowerhorn guys, it kind of bugs me from time to time, but the flowerhorn like breeders and stuff, and a lot of people that keep like 40 of them, they have dividers up and they're giving these flowerhorns like this much space in a tank. And even if it's a 6 foot 125, you have dividers up and the flowerhorn has this much room to move around. It's like, I know you're breeding, but I don't know, I can't get on that same level. So, and a lot of people keep flowerhorns in like 29 gallons, which is ridiculous to me, but the wise tale, flowerhorns get stressed out in big tanks. I don't believe it, but I'm not a flowerhorn expert, so I don't know. Would be just fine. Yeah, I feel like a 55 gallon is a good size. My flowerhorn, like, I'm catching myself falling down the flowerhorn wormhole because that's all I've been looking at on Aquabid is flowerhorns. I think the most popular fish of 2019 is going to be flowerhorns and red Texas cichlids and green Texas. But in that order, flowerhorns, maybe green Texas, because green Texas cichlids, excuse me, are becoming so popular because they're such an easy fish to care for, and they get such vibrant coloration. And a lot of these fish farms are selling them as like electric blue Texas cichlids, and it's just like, I don't know, they're gonna be super popular. And it kind of saddens me because the fish are already like $10 and people are breeding them like crazy. Turned into a flowerhorn live stream way too quickly. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but I just gotta tell you guys, flowerhorns, super addicting. The queen calls. You guys have a good night. Palmer, you rock. Keep doing it like you. Okay. Heck yeah, dude. I'm gonna make a point. I want to do a targeted live stream with you guys to try to get my subscriber base also over your channel, because what you're doing is awesome. Josh Toon, I sold all my fishing with the flowerhorns. Dude, it's addicting, and what's cool about flowerhorns is you can ship them and they're so sturdy, and it's like, they're just such an easy fish to take care of. And breeding them, yes, you're polluting the industry with hybrids, but breeding them is like, it's like you're creating something. So like you almost get addicted to it. It's like if we were to breed dogs and come up with some new strain that like everyone loves. I don't know, it's they can be really addicting. Hybrids are the best. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down the wormhole because I don't want to switch on. I'm sorry guys, I can't talk tonight. I don't want to go down the wormhole of changing all my tanks to flowerhorns, because I've quickly seen some of my friends like keep other fish and they're like, well, I'm going full flowerhorn red Texas, and then bam, their whole fish room is that. So perfect. They're loving the fresh water. I have this pump in here. Basically it's a pond pump with a little DIY PVC canister filled with polyfill, because when I destroy my tanks and like move around all the decor, detritus, detritus, however you want to say it, goes everywhere, and it really cleans up the water if I run that pump with polyfill for like an hour or two. And Joey kind of created that invention years ago with the DIY power head filter. One day I like hybrids, the next day nope. All South Americans. To be completely honest, I don't, like I said, I don't want to go down the wormhole of hybrids because it's super addicting, and I just can't, I don't want to do it. I don't know. I want to stay true to like just regular fish. I don't know. I like hybrids, but I feel like it's just, I just can't do it. Yeah, South Americans at heart are going to be always my favorite, but I am making a point, and this is my New Year's resolution, to get into African cichlids. And some of you guys might hate that, but my water is so hard, and it's liquid dirt, as you can say, or liquid rock, and everyone around here breeds African cichlids because our water is designed for it essentially, and I need to be smart and do the same thing. So I'm trying to get KG Tropicals on and do a live stream where I basically, because I'm not an African cichlid guy, what I'm trying to do is get KG Tropicals on, and I want to pick his brain on setting up an African cichlid tank from like a dummy's point of view. And I'm not kidding you. I don't know Africans very well, like at all. And I think I would be the perfect candidate because, you know, I essentially know the lakes in Africa are where the different cichlids come from, obviously. And like, I think I'd be the perfect candidate to pick his brain on setting up a tank and mixing what you can't mix, because I know that like there's haps that aren't they're not supposed to be mixed, you know, like in umbunas. Like, I'm just totally confused, and I think it'd be really good to do a live stream where I just pick his brain and I literally take notes myself, because I've spent hours researching them, but I feel like sometimes you can't, like, I'm not good at reading from like literature, and someone like John from KG is so good at just making things simple for like a man-to-man, like, hey, this is this, you know what I mean? It's like like when the internet tells you how to fix a car and you're like, okay, I understand this, and then you go to work in the car and you're like, what the F were they talking about? But if your buddy's there, he's like, yeah, you put the wrench on that and you do it that way. It's essentially like that. And the piranhas are freaking out. Africans don't compare to Americans. I will agree, but I need to go down that wormhole next. And hopefully some of you guys don't get pissed, because I know a lot of you are South American fans at heart, and that's kind of like what grew my channel, like the jaguar cichlids and all those. But I'm going to be diving into some Africans, and hopefully I can help some beginners, because I'm essentially a beginner myself. So, Josh, you're breeding flowerhorn, aqua balls. I really want some starry night cichlids. If you get on Imperial Tropicals, they haven't had starry nights for quite some time, but they have them right now, and they're pretty cheap. I think you can get one, a 2-inch starry night for like $14.99. The water's getting close. I know, right? And I gotta tell you guys, I've fallen in love with my DIY sponge filters. You can see one here, and I think I've been listening to a bunch of Corey's old stuff, because I literally listen to 8 hours a day of like live streams and podcasting, and I'm learning so much every single day. During my day job, I listen to music, but I just listen to podcasts and such all day. And Corey was talking about in an older video about sponge filters that when the center shaft is like larger like that, like there's more room for more flow to come through, and a lot of the cheapo sponge filters aren't doing so hot because of that. And I feel like because I use 1.5 inch PVC with a good airstone in there, that they just like, because when the water level got low enough to where it was at the top of the sponge, you could literally see how much flow was coming out of the sponge filter. Like, I was amazed. Thoughts on titanium flowerhorn? Dude, I don't even know what that is. Like, there's so many names for flowerhorns. I did a video, I spent probably 15 hours trying to figure out all the strains of flowerhorns. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm over this. And I even reached out to some of the guys, like Chris Rounds, and some of the guys that sell, and Julie, Tran, and they were explaining this to me, and I'm just like, man, like, do I need a degree? And I couldn't get it. Like, what about your store? Yes, there will be updates on the store coming. I'm building that rack like I told you guys, so I'm gonna be hitting it hard this weekend. I painted the wall all nice, and I'm working on doing the rack that's gonna hold like 40 20-gallon tanks. I can't decide if I want to drill them on the back or the front, because it would look nicer in the back, but I could make it look sort of industrial and really clean looking if the overflows were on the front and they kind of elbowed over and then went down with the beam of the rack. I just bred dragon blood to platinum red Texas cichlid, got fried. You should send me videos, Aquaballs. I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or not, but I've seen some LFS makeup strains just to market their flower. Yeah, literally, fish stores will make up any name to sell fish. Like the green Texas, I've seen probably 15 different names, and I'm just like, it's a green Texas. Like, that's not a $30 fish, that's a $7 green Texas. I want to buy my first flowerhorn, but I have no idea which trend to get. God, the lights just went out behind me. That's annoying. How are you going to stock your store? That's a very good question. The lights just went out behind me. This water change is almost up. I think I'm gonna call her quits, guys. What's your Facebook name? It's Chris Weber. I'll throw a link to my Facebook in this video description after it uploads. So just give it like 2 minutes, and you guys can add me. I'm always looking for videos to do cool fish videos on us, essentially. I have some cool footage right now in my phone that I need to send to my computer on breeding acaras. That's one of them. I've been looking for footage on the black nasty cichlid. A bunch of people are asking me to do videos on the black nasty. That is like a crazy fish I'm learning about like as I go. So I'm reaching out to people to help me learn, and I got some really cool videos coming up. Gotta figure out how the shop is from Milwaukee. 6 hours. It's cool because my shop, I'm gonna say this and then I gotta go. But the thing about my shop is it's at my house, but I noticed that so many people were driving to my house to buy fish from my fish store, and the reason I didn't open a fish store was because I wanted a storefront in a city, a storefront location, and I was like, you know what, like, I will drive 100 miles to my favorite fish store, so if I have a good enough store, people will drive to me, and I'm just gonna go for it. And if my store doesn't work out, I'm gonna keep it as a massive fish room, and I don't even care. Like, that's the great thing about, like, it's at my house. I don't have to pay rent on the building, and that's why I kind of just decided to go with it. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. My friends, all my local friends think I'm crazy. My wife thinks I'm nuts because it's gonna be a huge heating bill. I'm like, I'll work some overtime. That's what I tell her. Just got a black nasty today. Yeah, you should send me some, I'm looking for videos right now on black nasty cichlids, so. Alright guys, the lights went out, the fish are trying to go to sleep, this water change is almost done. If you guys want to hit me up on Facebook, I'm throwing a link to it. This video was intentionally aimed at keeping Oscars in a 75-gallon tank, but we're just hanging out. So, good show. Not really, I'm kind of learning as I go, I apologize. Some of this is just, I'm trying to get better, and I want to keep it more targeted to where there's a topic and having guests, but some nights I'll just hang out. So, this water change is about done. You guys all have a great night, happy fish keeping, and it's hard not to keep looking at the chat. I'm like, yeah, these guys are, I love talking with you guys. This is why this is so addicting. Like, I should have been on here a year ago doing this, so. Gotta keep breathing. I get worked up, guys. Okay. Alright, I'm out of here.